Now, one of the biggest stories over the weekend, surely, was this one. The director of a zoo in the United States saying he stands by the decision to shoot a gorilla after a 4-year-old boy fell into his enclosure. Well, speaking at a news conference, Thane Maynard of Cincinnati Zoo said the gorilla called Harambe had been agitated and disorientated too when he was trying to hurt the child. He said he would make the same call if the incident were to happen again.
Looking back, we would make the same decision. I know that after it is over and the child is safe, it's easy like a Monday morning quarterback to look at it and say, wow, 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 but don't we need to do this differently? The people that say that, A, don't understand primate biology and silverback gorillas and the danger the child was in, and B, we're not there at an important time to make important decisions.
Well, on social media, it went mad, of course, as you can imagine, and nearly 200,000 people have so far signed an online petition in protest at the killing of the gorilla, and it calls for the boy's parents to be held accountable. But Thane Maynard insists the decision saved the boy's life.
Obviously, the child was upset and people were screaming. Our security team emptied the exhibit, and the Dangerous Animal Response Team officer came and dispatched Harambe. And the reason was that it was a life-threatening situation, and a silverback gorilla is a very dangerous animal. It would be a very dangerous animal to us, but particularly a dangerous animal to a little kid.
Well, the boy's family said in a statement released to the US media that he was doing just fine and thanked the zoo staff for their quick actions too. Well, the boy's not been identified. The family go on to say they realise it was a difficult decision for the zoo staff to shoot Harambe and that staff are grieving the loss of their gorilla. So what do people here in Lancashire make of the decision and one of the biggest stories of the weekend? These people in Blackburn told us what they think.
It's down to the parents that they shouldn't let a child get into that situation in the first place.
To be honest, I think they should have probably gone with a tranquiliser gun more than anything, as opposed to just killing it straight. Well, you shouldn't really let your child jump into a gorilla enclosure. The gorilla isn't really that aggressive. It's dragging it around and stuff, but it's not. From anything, it looked like it was protecting it. So it's a tough one. If he hadn't have shot it and it had killed it, they'd have said, why didn't they shoot it? But maybe it was a little bit hasty just to shoot it dead.
I think the parents should be held accountable. It's not fair that an animal dies when it could have been prevented. The animal wasn't doing anything to harm the child, so why did it get shot?
I don't think it was right to shoot the gorilla, and I think the parents should be prosecuted. The child got into the enclosure, so whose fault's that? It's not the gorillas, is it?
In the heat of the moment, it can be quite difficult to make decisions. Like, obviously, there was worrying for the safety of the child. I can imagine if I had a child, they wouldn't be leaving my side in the zoo. Never mind just climbing into animals' cages. Obviously, children need to have the freedom to explore. They're new to the world, but when you're in places like that, parks, zoos, the majority of the time, they should definitely be keeping a closer eye on them.
I think they did what they had to do. No complaints from me.
In all fairness, it is mostly the parents' fault for not keeping an eye on the children. As a parent, that's your full job to keep your eye on your child. So if you let them go missing, obviously as a 4-year-old you don't know what you're going to be doing, and I do think that zookeepers probably did take the right action, because obviously it's a human life at risk, isn't it?
As a parent, your responsibility is to keep your children safe at all times. So if the parents weren't keeping the eye on the child when the child fell in, then yeah, the parents have got some accountability.
Thoughts there on the streets of Blackburn today. It's a tough one and it's a tough story.